A couple who have been divorced for more than 10 years, they can't get along with each other. One little thing can make them fall in love with each other. The only thing is that the daughter's situation is out of the ordinary. After the divorce, Cotton and Georgia have their own work and life. They have a principle of never getting in touch with each other. They never contact each other unless it's about their daughter Lily. After the ceremony, Lily is about to start her graduation trip to Bali. After saying goodbye to their daughter, they don't want to be together for a moment. What surprised them is that their daughter's email brought them together. It turned out to be their daughter's wedding invitation. They thought about it, so they went out for a trip for less than 2 days. The invitation was sent. If it was 2 more days, I'm afraid the grandchild would come out. They decided to buy the nearest flight. They rushed to stop their daughter's wedding. In order to avoid sitting together, there was no reservation. After David's registration, an aunt went crazy. In order to get a quiet environment, she pretended not to speak English on purpose. Aunt shut up. Then the next second, Georgia appeared in front of them. Coincidentally, the seats of the two of them were stuck together again. It's fate that David took off his mouth and died. Aunt finally understood that she was cheated. David asked the flight attendant to change his seat for him, but there was no seat available on the plane. This made the aunt on the side complain. So they sat in the middle of the two, but it didn't stop the two from arguing. Just when they were arguing, Captain and Georgia walked over with Paul. Georgia hugged Paul without hesitation. David was so angry that he couldn't speak. Seeing David angry, Georgia was satisfied and sat in his seat. Suddenly there was a strong turbulence on the plane. The passengers screamed. Aunt cried out of fear. The two of them were ready to comfort the aunt. Their hands were accidentally held together. After getting off the plane, they were going to take a boat to Bali. Although they didn't deal with it for the sake of their daughter's happiness, they had to work together to stop this wedding. They discussed a plan, that is to pretend to support Lily's marriage, so that Lily wouldn't be in danger. After gaining Lily's trust, they led her to end this relationship. But it wasn't as simple as they thought. When the three of them met, their daughter knew them very well. She said, "Can we make a pact to not murder each other and to not murder me first?" "Oh, come on, nobody is murdering anyone. I mean, of course, we have some questions. We are your parents." "We are, should be my parents. Yes, we're in lockstep, yes." Although they acted very harmoniously, their daughter confirmed it again and again. "Are you guys sure you're good with this? Do you know you could just tell me? You don't have to do a whole front and forth thing." What is that?" Their moves were exposed by their daughter. But they had no choice but to deny it. The fiancé was a resident of Bali, Mr. and Mrs. Cotton. "I welcome you to my country and soon to my home." "Mrs. Cotton, Mrs. Mother, you can just come to Georgia." "Oh, that's your wish, Georgia, yeah. Good, Mr. Cotton." Guide, who was enthusiastic, went back with his wife. Cotton also met Mr. and Mrs. Cotton. He was going to give Mr. and Mrs. Cotton a ride, but Mr. and Mrs. Cotton took out a big knife. He said it is a Balinese custom that after a meeting, the two fathers must cut deep into their throats and eat smelt near the blood. Too many see of this. Ha 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 ha. I didn't expect a joke to scare Mr. and Mrs. Cotton. Guide's mother warmly received Georgia. However, she enthusiastically said 5 minutes of words. Guide's sister's translation was true. She says, "Welcome." Cotton found Guide. He first wished Guide and Lily a happy marriage. Then he said, "I could see you, for what? I don't know that you're the first crippled by the will that I've been on those hills. That's what I thought till I was sitting across from Georgia with a bunch of lawyers dividing up our stuff. I keep bleeding. I keep bleeding, so enjoy this." In his failed marriage, Cotton thinks Lily is as ambitious as his mother. He's not satisfied with staying on this island. He'll leave when he's tired of her. He warns Guide not to have children, not to tie Lily up with children. After saying that, he leaves. After listening to Cotton, Guide becomes restless. The Ching family announces that the wedding will be held in 4 days. Cotton is anxious to take action. Georgia says, "We have no explanation why you walked out on me," and Lily, "I didn't walk out on Lily." The two of them are at odds again when asked about their opinions. Yes, we have our plans. They don't know that you're the hardest crippled by the fame that I've been on those hills cotton. And Georgia will stay on the island for a few days. They come to the most luxurious hotel on the island. They hope to stay in the 2 rooms that are the farthest from each other, but the happy couple is still arranged to be next door. They think of their daughter's wedding. David comes to the bar downstairs for a drink. He happens to meet Jenny, who comes to the bar for a drink. Jenny is worried about him because Lily is really happy in Paris. David thinks Jenny is still young and has no parents, so he doesn't understand how she feels. Besides, there is no long-term relationship in this world. The time when he and Georgia just got married was very sweet. They thought they would be like this forever, but as he got busier and busier, Georgia's temper got worse and worse. Their love life slowly changed. They started endless quarrels. They even spoke ill of each other. In the end, they could only end the broken marriage. The wedding is coming. Lily hasn't changed her mind yet. If they want to stop it, they have to take action quickly. The two of them don't get along. Steal the wedding ring. The person who was arranged to give the wedding ring was a 8-year-old cousin. Georgia sneaked up on him and took the ring. So because of the lost wedding date of the ring, guide saw their expressions and knew what was going on. They just thought they hadn't been seen through. In the evening, Lily showed Georgia how much she loved Guide, how much she longed for life here. She thanked Georgia for her support. However, Georgia seemed very guilty at the same time. Remember to let Carton return the ring to her. She told Carton that she didn't tell Lily. You should know that the real reason her parents are finally getting along is because they're reunited to sabotage our relationship. If anyone here is afraid, it's you. I'm not here to steal your daughter from you. That's the last thing I want to do. After hearing Guide's words, Carton also fell into a trance. Georgia began to waver. The two of them had a disagreement again. We agreed to do this together, didn't we? Yeah. But that was before we saw each other, so I didn't. Are you not? Huh? We had Lily 1 day a week, and every other weekend you had her all the rest of the time. She listened to you, she relied on you, and now you get to be the one that gives her everything she wants. I never get to give her what she wants. Yes, I was there for her to make the rules too. Fight with you were a fun dad. You would breeze in, take her where she wanted to go, buy her anything she wanted, then drop her off at the cabin. I didn't even want that. Well, then you shouldn't have left. I had to. It was over. Why? Because the house brings it. Because you didn't love me anymore. You didn't even like me. You didn't have any respect for me. You never had any respect for me. It's still unbelievably untrue. When you proposed, did you really want to get married, or you just didn't want me to do a good job? I wanted to be happy. I wanted you to be happy. Well, I am happy now. Good. So am I. Good. Great. Great. The quarrel revealed the scars between the two. They broke up, but they both loved Lily in their own way. As the saying goes, married couple has no hatred for each other, although this sentence is not suitable to be used on them. But the next day, they still could, because they fought more than anyone else watching the two old men's strange game. The daughter felt relieved because in the evening, a divorced couple and a newlyweds played a game on the table. The old man claimed that he had never lost on the table. So dinosaur, I am praying for an asteroid. The old man played. The new couple Guide finally couldn't hold it. The old man continued to swing in the green hole. In the end, the two slept together under the hospital in time. It's okay. The proposal was terminated. Barlow asked Georgia to think about it. Lily strongly stopped her mother from being with Barlow because she could see that her mother didn't like Barlow. Just enjoy the feeling of being loved by Barlow, but love and being loved are different. Lily's words also made Georgia reconsider the relationship with Barlow. After Barlow was almost recovered, they four went to Nusa Penida together, saw the most beautiful sunset, but they didn't expect the ship they were on to drift away. It was too late. They could only spend the night on the island. I didn't expect to live. Lily found a lost ring in Georgia's bag. She didn't believe she had always supported her mother. In fact, it was the one who ruined her wedding. What made her even more angry, Guide also knew about this but didn't tell her. She questioned the reason why her mother did this. Georgia explained she was just trying to stop a wrong marriage. If she had listened to her parents many years ago, then her wrong marriage wouldn't have started. David admitted that she was the One who was wrong Lily was sad, and ran away. Guide chased after the remaining two regretted in place. They kept silent for a long time and suddenly said David was not the one who was wrong. And he never thought so. He didn't know why he and David had developed to this point, but he knew clearly he didn't agree to Barlow's proposal. A large part of the reason was because of David. In the early morning of the next day, the two of them watched the sunrise on the rocks by the sea, looking at each other. The atmosphere of the warm girl was surrounded. Then there was a fierce kiss. Soon they realized that they were already divorced. Then they pretended nothing had happened. Guide's parents came to pick them up. The first thing they did when they got home was to prepare for the wedding. Lily decided to get married right away, even if she didn't get her parents' permission. After these days, David could see that Guide loved Lily very much. He also saw the happiness when Lily and Guide were together, so he chose to compromise. He gave the most sincere blessing at the wedding. Looking at the happy daughter, David and Guide were reluctant to be happy for her. After the wedding, the two of them sat together and talked. David didn't say anything, but he really hoped that Guide could get love. If Barlow could really make her happy, he should have agreed to Barlow's proposal. Guide still hesitated, feeling very confused. After thinking about it all night, he finally understood. Now he doesn't want to start the next marriage. He officially rejected Barlow. Barlow was very sad, but he respected his choice. Looking at David flying kites with the kids, Guide's face was smiling. It turned out that David had always been in his heart. The atmosphere on the boat back was very different from before. They finally knew why did Lily like this place so much. If possible, they also want to live on this beautiful island. This short journey let them have a great harvest. They found each other again. Maybe the future life is still unbearable, but the happiness at this moment is real. Even if it's back to the island, adults' life is terrible. Marriage will break, feelings will fade, but there are always some things will make you believe again, even if the future life is unknown. But it's not a beautiful life. Life is a slow progress, like the flow of water in summer. Let's enjoy it slowly. Don't be anxious when you are 30 years old. You shouldn't be anxious about being 50 years old when you are born. You don't have to expect this. After all, everything will come. Life is to look at it and follow it. Let go of the past and cherish the present and look forward to the future. Endure when you are tired, endure when you are happy. It's a moment to look at it, but it's a moment to follow.